let's go live here and see what happens. Let me see. Are getting. Let me look at our channel and see if I can actually see it. Yep, I see us. We in there, bosses.
Okay, let me check. It's like a slight delay. Okay, let me check. It's like a slight delay.
Make sure you on mute on anything else so we don't have no feedback or echo on the actual stream.
Okay.
Let me drop that. No, I won't. Let's go gallery. View. Cool. Yup, we in here. And there is a delay. Yup, exactly what you just said. And now, yeah. And that should show all three of us in just a second. Back.
That's cool if it's a delay
Cool,
slightly.
Man. Yeah. Allow us to kind of get a chance to react. And we're gonna start right at 10:30, just so in the interest of all of our time and anybody who joins time, and then people who join late or miss it, they can always catch it because I can upload it straight to the page. So we good. Give them 2 more minutes, see if anybody comes in, and then we about to kick it. Trying to figure out what happened with that. I was trying to do the Facebook live. You cannot change input source. Use paired encoder. What is a paired encoder?
That sounds familiar, and I cannot think of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, I tried. Bump it.
I'm about to post something on the Facebook.
Yeah, just let them come into the YouTube because I can't do the live from YouTube. For some reason, it won't even allow me to do so. But that does free me up now to join the chat from here. So that is a plus. That is actually a net plus because I can actually see the chat and interact with it live straight from. No, I probably should do it from the phone just so. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Is it 10:30? Yep, it's 10:30 on the dot. Well,
Wonderful.
Without further delay, guys, what's up, my people? Welcome to the Podnas. It's our first live stream here, first live session. We thought it was important with the recent events in our country to just come together and process through it together. I know it was something that we had started a conversation on, so we just figured we open up that conversation to the world and allow y'all to join in on the conversation, guys. First off, thank you to anyone and everyone who joins us tonight. We're blessed to get to share our perspectives with you all and to just take time and commune with y'all. We appreciate you taking your busy schedules and sliding us out a little bit of your time to come in and join us. So first of all, I just want to thank every subscriber, follower, viewer, or listener. We've been blessed over the past couple of days with just tremendous growth past what we ever anticipated this early in our journey here. And it's been truly humbling. We promise that we're going to use every view, stream, download, follow, sub, or financial gift to grow our brand, create new content, improve our tools and skills as content creators as well. Next thing I noticed that over the past 2 days, many of our fellow content creators and podcasters have seen many people unfollow or stop supporting them due to them speaking out against domestic terrorism, or just speaking on the obvious difference in how these terrorists were treated as opposed to the protesters for Black Lives Matter last year. Seeing people just kind of drop off of platforms and unfollow people so quickly for their thoughts, it just was an eye-opener for me. And I now see that many people will only support if you are saying what they once said, or if you're cool with allowing corrupt power structures to operate without being called out. So before we say anything else, before we go any further in our podcast journey, I just want to put this out as a disclaimer to anybody who happens to listen to us. If you have an issue with us supporting Black Lives Matter, speaking truth to justice, or speaking truth to powers that are unjust, or you have a problem with us believing in equity or equality for all, and that's the issue for you, then you can go ahead and unfollow and block us now, because we're always going to be our authentic selves. That's what we started for, to just be us and be who we truly are and believe what we truly believe. So we're never going to shy away from speaking up and standing up for whatever causes we believe in, whether that be something small, whether that be something large, global, whatever. If we honestly feel that way, that's what we're going to say. So if that's going to be a problem for anybody, we invite you to go ahead and respectfully leave us now, because we'd rather be with a community that actually respects and is able to have disagreements or agreements in a civil way. That's just who we are. So now let's get to the real reason why we're here tonight. We felt it was important that we allowed this space for dialogue and discourse. The main issue with our country right now is that many people are afraid or uncomfortable with having like difficult conversations, or they're uncomfortable with standing on whatever their truth is. Tonight, we want to just give our perspectives, but also we want to know what you're thinking. So as we go along, we're going to try to acknowledge different opinions and thoughts you have in the chat. We probably won't get to all of them just because of the way our infrastructure is set up right now, but we do want to see what y'all are saying, and we will be interacting with people that are commenting just to continue the dialogue after this live is even over, because I truly feel that starting a conversation and just continuing it and being okay with disagreeing throughout that conversation is something that can truly create change in this country and the world at large. So this week has shown the divide between us more than ever. So we feel like, why not use our platform to just have these conversations and try to start that healing process, but also just speaking on the honesty of what's happening. So with that being said, I want to first open up the floor to the partners in general, but also just a face in specific. When we were having our personal, private conversation about things, he had some really good points that he brought up, and just some things that really resonated, and some just different takes that I had. So Face, if you want to just kind of share what you felt when you first saw the riots, your general thoughts on them in general. Yeah.
Most definitely, most definitely. A lot of people were I could say shocked, and that they couldn't believe it was happening. I didn't have those feelings at all. There was no shock in me. I can believe it. All you gotta do is do your history. When, how can I put it and be PC?
Don't be.
When
Be you.
When a certain sect of people don't get their way, they act like spoiled babies and they throw temper tantrums. And their temper tantrums involve violence in the streets, and they don't care. And in sight of that, you have to look at it deeper and on a deeper level. Most people are just going to take it what the media shows them or what the media says and says. If you want to take the biggest notion, people are like, look at the biggest treatment. If those were black people, they all would have been dead. Are you sure? Was it staged? Was it planned? You got to look at it. The people that ran up in the White House aren't scared of the police. Okay. Yeah. Look at it from the other way too. The police aren't scared of them. So what violence would have been? There was a few incidents of violence. Yeah. One lady got popped in the neck. They was acting violent. She got what she got. God rest her soul. If she has passed, I don't know if she has or not, but
she has.
She has.
She definitely did.
She has.
Yeah. Rest in peace to her soul. But you on the wrong side.
Absolutely.
But the man who shot her did his due diligence in doing his job. Now, I can't say Like I said, I can't say I'm amazed. I can't say I'm shocked because I'm used to it. In my lifetime, I've seen other things, just not on a large scale and not shown by the media. So that's the only big difference we have today in 2021 and 2020 last year with a lot of media presence. So a lot of things are.
No, you cut up. You say a lot of things with something.
To be more sympathetic. Exactly. A lot of people are attempting to be more sympathetic, but at the same time, empathy is one thing. Sympathy is a total different.
Mm-hmm.
Pat, what was your initial thoughts on when you first saw the riots and just things as they gone since then?
It was at first it didn't soak in because in the midst of all of this going on, I was actually working at the time. So like I just saw something and I was like, all right, they just doing another
and
rally.
Nothing was done. Nothing was done.
I'm sorry.
Nothing was done at all. They ran up in the White House, disrespected the sanctity of our capital. Our capital. Remember, that's our Capitol building. That's where businesses go. Businesses go down.
Mm-hmm.
But all the while, the president has nothing deterring to say. He egged it on. That's inciting a riot, isn't that a criminal charge? Inciting a riot.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they get the Black Panthers that charge? Some of them that charge. You feel me? Wasn't a lot of civil rights leaders inciting riots by simply just protesting, peacefully protesting? When all these Black people were killed last year and you had all these peaceful protests, look at the treatment that was played on the media. But once again, I have to tell you, don't just look at what you see on the media. You have to take it a real life instance too. Media over heightens certain situations. You feel me? So the rare instances are blown up 10 times bigger to make it seem like any small situation is that much bigger. I'm not saying this situation ain't big. Please believe me. I'm not saying it ain't big because this is the first time in my lifetime, well, second time in my lifetime, I've seen somebody run into the White House. First time was during the Obama era when you had that one guy running after he had a knife or something. This is dumb. This time you had a mob. You had a mob, a mini revolution, and that was and I give it to the lady on TV who got maced. It's a revolution. I give it to her. They attempted. It won't well planned out, but that just makes me weary and makes me ready for what may come. So, I live in a Commonwealth state. I live in an open carry state. I carry openly. So I'm not really concerned for me or my family because I feel like I can protect them in that situation. But for all those who can't or don't feel like they need to, I feel like you open your eyes. I may be just being pessimistic in this instance and saying something may be coming down the road. The temperament and climate of this country is on a tipping point right now. All it takes is one thing to nudge it over. That's all.
People so sensitive.
Yeah.
You feel me? The reason why the police react differently when Black people protest is because they realize and understand the difference in our power and the difference of our counter's power. Their power comes from being spoiled brats, not getting what they want. Our power comes from vengeance and wanting revenge and years of torment and all the bullshit that we have to continuously deal with. The lack of opportunities, the lack of not being equal, but saying we're equal. Fuck that. The lack of trying to take our culture and make it your culture and strip us from ours to try to implement yours into ours, to try to make us believe what if you want us to believe. How much longer? That shit the other day was just a further example of the master plan that was implemented centuries ago in our country that's continued to perpetuate itself unknowingly to the people. It's just embedded in motherfuckers. I just wish Black people get themselves out that plan. Unity is the only way shit is going to change. I don't care if you banging, if you're not banging. If you're a melanated person, we need unity. That's the only way anything's going to truly change. Unify as one people, and I guarantee there's strength in numbers.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Pat, what were your thoughts? Face, he hit a lot of nails right on the head. Pause.
Well, yeah, like I was saying when I was in I didn't have enough time to react when I first saw it. So at first I just initially looked at it with a glance and it was like, okay, they just having another one of them racist ass rallies again. Whoop-de-doo. All right. So after a while, as the day progressed, I was like, oh shit, they wilding. They're wilding. They're going in and just ransacking. And I'm like, um, didn't y'all have like the National Guard when the Black Lives Matter came out? Like, didn't y'all like
Immediately.
tear gas and all and armed weaponry and everything? You even allowed some 18-year-old boy walk around with an AR rifle and start shooting in the crowd. Not one person in the crowd is like toting guns. You don't see anybody like with any type of armaments. And then you go and you look on what happened Wednesday or whatever, and they're all, majority of them are strapped up some type of way or whatever.
Yeah.
And then all we have is like mall security almost trying to hold off a mob or whatever. And I feel like,
If
their
they,
luck, if they were black, it wouldn't just be one person that got shot and passed.
Big
Oh,
fact. Big
it
facts.
wouldn't be just one. It wouldn't at all. Like, I mean, it just shows the hypocrisy. It is like,
Yes.
what was it? Tommy Lawrence saying,
Mm-hmm.
like, Tommy Lawrence said a long time ago or whatever, talking about Democrats. Matter of fact, the whole Fox News, which they're not really news, they just opinions. The whole Fox News, they like just said the whole time, if it was when Trump got elected, all these Democrats, they're whining and crying and need to just face reality. That's the way it is and everything. If it was Republicans, and it wasn't just Tommy Lawrence. See, that's the one thing I will say I admire about Republicans. When they have idea or if they have a banner they're going to go along with, everyone
they ride
is
out.
going. It seemed like everyone got that same email. This is what you say. If you look at Fox News, and it was just like you were saying about cult like behavior in our last podcast, episode 8.
Yeah.
What's the motivation out right now? You were saying cult like behavior is like all of them at once, verbatim, saying the same exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
They'll put the narrative.
You'll be on Trevor Noah or whatever, on the Daily Show, and he has constantly have like little scenes where it's multiple Republicans, multiple Fox News media personalities saying the same exact thing.
Yep.
That's cult-like behavior. That's the only thing I would say I admire about them, and I feel like Black people should have take a lesson from that. Like we are quick to down our own people, not to go on a tangent, but down our own people. But if we acted like Republicans, and if we do have a disagreement, keep that within the community, but outside of the community, be like, no, I don't got a problem with it. Nope, I don't got a problem with it. We'll be a whole lot stronger. Like, not saying that we should all be hypocrites, of course, in general, but all right, I feel like I'm going off on a tangent here, but to tell you the God honest truth, I laughed. I totally freaking laughed. It's like now I feel like there's a transition where it's the roles reversed. I'm like sitting here like, all this horrible white on white crime, like, when are they going to learn to stop just disagreeing and fighting each other? Like, I mean, all this white on white crime. Have y'all not seen the increase on white on white crime lately since Trump been in office? I mean, like, even before that, I mean, all the school shootings in general, just, and I don't understand it. I mean, this white on white crime nowadays is crazy. They just running up in public buildings, sitting on politicians' desk or whatever.
Feet up though.
Feet up. And guess what? Barely getting charges. Barely.
Big facts.
Barely getting charges. They got charges, but they're not like you should be getting treason. Like
Yeah.
that's you brought enemy flags into America's like capital. The Nazi flags, the Confederate flags, all the loser flags. Trump 2020, like
Yep.
all the losers.
I feel like I went through a lot of those same feelings. So I kind of went through. I definitely wasn't shocked when I first heard about it. Like I was probably
Never.
maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours late to even know about the news. I was in here, just kicking it with the fam and doing my normal workday stuff. So I wasn't even hip to it until like my wife, I think, came home and she was just like shaking up and like she's an empath, so she's very like in tune with like the human condition. Like that's just something that really drives her. So like I could see that she was like legit scared. Like, what does this mean? Is this meaning we're about to have a revolution all across the country? Is this about to break out in like mass rioting? Like she just really didn't know. And I found myself going through a couple of different emotions, and now I've kind of come to a newer conclusion. So my initial thoughts was chickens coming home to roost, like Malcolm X said, this is exactly what y'all deserve. That was my initial honest gut reaction to it. As I thought about it more though, I started to more think about like the different implications that it's going to mean outside of just this incident. I thought about the fact that it showed how much the police and authority figures are infiltrated by white supremacists and nationalists. Because you saw police opening barricades for people, helping them down the stairs, taking pictures,
them up,
hanging out with them. There was even a West Virginia like senator or congressperson or like some type of congressperson from West Virginia that was literally a part of the mob live streaming it. So I'm looking at like how embedded the mentality of the mob is and throughout the whole culture and the infrastructure of our country. Like when you see police helping this mob, that lets you know that they're right in line with them. That's the same thinking that they had. That's the scariest thing for me because this, I saw something today and it was like comparing Bull Connor back in his 50s and 60s down in Alabama, the governor that like used to sick dogs on people and all that. And if you listen to a lot of his rhetoric and then you play Trump's speeches, it's so similar. And the same type of images that you would see back in the day of white people looking angry, like even though it wasn't directed at black people specifically, you saw them same looks in those people's eyes that you used to see the cops have when they were beating a black man with a billy club back in the 60s. So it all comes from that same root of just like that hate. Like I hate anything that I feel is better, that I feel will take away my privileges, and I think that that's the biggest scary part about this country because it just highlights how different our experience is in this country depending on who you are. Like, before I even got into like the politics of it and like the real reason of the mob and all of that, like my first thought just went to black people, and I immediately thought about what I was talking about, like with the Black Lives Matter protests and the George Floyd protesters. Some people weren't really doing nothing. Like they weren't trying to attack nothing. When the police said back up, you would see them backing their lines up. Like they were being completely respectful. And you had the police acting like they were like literally the people who bombed us on 9/11 or something, the way they were treating them. And then to watch these same people ingratiate themselves to people who are literally coming to do harm to the people that you're supposed to be protecting when you're in those buildings. It doesn't give me a lot of faith for the immediate future of this country, because even though we got a new president basically, and there are some regimes that are changing over the country, we're getting some red states flip to blue. I see a bigger issue in we got to get out of the Democrats versus Republicans. We got to get out of the mentality of black versus white. Like it got to be good people with good values and morals that just genuinely love other people against all of the bigots, all of the hates, no matter who you hating, because no matter who the victim of the hate is, it's all that same thing. Like them people was going up there, like you said, it was white on white crime. They was going after the senators, most of which are not representative of the larger diversity of America, much less representative of the black community. So I think until like we nip that actual hate in the bud and like really like hold people feet to the fire, like it got to be a no tolerance zone for hate, period. And I'm saying that as a black man. I'm talking about even if we get black people that's going out there doing stuff that's valid toward other people, like we got to check them too. Like we just got to check hate. Like if you a fuck person, we got to check that shit immediately, and it got to be a unified stance with all of the people that actually believe that hate is wrong. And it can't be, well, I'm doing it here, because I think that's the problem. The hate, they are unified, militarized, organized, and they are ready for whatever civil disagreement or war that we have. They are ready for it. Those of us that are actually believing in love and truth and the right things, we fragmented because we can't even, like, I think that's the biggest thing that I saw. Like, it was Democrats versus Republicans kind of on the night of the riots. But what I really saw was, if the Democrats are supposed to be the liberal party that's for equality and equity and all of that, what I saw is them being fragmented as well has led to the hate having such a strong hold. Like, we're so busy arguing over whether we want to support black people or the LGBT or the head or the special needs people or the minority of migrants. Like, our focus is all over the place instead of just being focused on what is the right thing to do, and let's all unify behind all of those things, whatever they are. Because the sooner we do that, a lot of these haters gonna stop feeling so bold, because that's really what it is. When you saw them people storm the White House, there was no counter protest. There was no people like, hey, we ain't gonna let y'all destroy our country and the freedoms that we sit here and believe in or that we subscribe to in this country. Like, I didn't see nobody out there going against the protest.
Well, I was going to say on that note, the first point, first we need to get these old politicians out with that same old mindset.
Yes.
Because they grew up in that culture. You said that these people are militant and ready and they're organized. That's because they were raised in the culture to be militant and organized.
Yeah.
Like they were brought up, their father brought them around whatever rally or whatever. They were out in the boonies shooting whatever. They listened to whatever the rhetoric is of their relative.
Hey guys, I don't know what happened, but we stopped being live for some reason. So I'm not sure what happened, but I'm gonna try to get us back in real quick so you can finish your point. I don't know how to do though. I don't know how.
It still say it's live on YouTube here.
Do y'all see them? Do y'all see us there though?
Yeah, I still see. I can go to the point. All right.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It's a lag.
My bad on the technical difficulties, guys. I'm learning how to do this live thing here. So
yeah,
don't blame the partners. Blame the tears. We working it out.
Bro.
Okay.
It's all right, bro.
Yeah.
Okay,
hey, this is the first one.
Yeah, it's working. All right, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, what were you saying, Pat? I'm sorry.
Well, that it's a culture that they were brought up in, like almost a religion, and that's one part of it here. And what was the other last part that you said? Other than
organized, militarized, unified, they're ready to go.
I think that's what. Pretty much
ready for more.
Another point I was going to bring up, but on sometimes I know my mom, she was feeling sad about it when she watched it or whatever. But now, mind you, first of all, I'm black. Being with that, first of all, I'm black. This is my disclaimer. All right. First of all, I'm black.
Right on.
In my 37 years of living or whatever, I have been brought up thinking that we are second-class citizens. We grow up in public schooling. They tell us right then and there. I believe, Face, you brought it up last night when we were speaking on it. You learn in public school and like middle grade school that you're 3/5 human. First of all, so that, and just like Faye said, they haven't taken it out the actual wording.
They have
just
not
made an amendment to it. So that's part of it. And then growing up over the years, I've seen multiple times where, like they say, Black lives don't seem to matter. Period. Let me put that into play. We had about 8. Shoot, not even 8 now. We're at 12 years of straight police brutality, and media gives us nothing but excuses all the time. But if you have a white man in the same situation, he's alive. That dude Dylan Roof went in and shot up a whole church that did nothing to him, and they set him in a car and got him some Burger King.
Yeah.
They don't make any sense. So on that note, when I say this here, it's some Black people that looked at it like me and laughed and was like, yep, about time for this thing. Go, if they want to burn this down to the ground, let them burn down to the ground. Because in the midst of me seeing all this white on white crime, that horrible, terrible, scary white on white crime, I saw a lot of positive Black things in the midst of the post. Like I'm seeing people. Yeah, I'm seeing people.
Because that's the funny part about our people. We are resilient. We don't hold a grudge like that. Like, we just want basic equity, and then we good. So we're not sitting it, like, even though it does, like, as a human, I don't care who you are. If you done got beat up every day, you're gonna be happy as hell when you see the bully get his ass whooped. That's just is what it is. But at the end of the day, like, we not carrying it past that to the point where we really feel like that was, like, that anybody that got hurt was right. Most Black people that I've seen, or most marginalized people or allies of Black people that I've seen, we're not happy that anybody terrorized our country. Like, because at the end of the day, if you like me, I feel like this is more my country than a lot of Caucasian people. Just because of my heritage and the fact that my ancestors did a lot more to build this place, if you want to be real. You know what I mean? So I look at it like it's our country. So when I saw it, I didn't like it, but I did think that there's some karma and some kind of just fair play. The universe is always going to make sure the energy comes back around. It ain't going to get destroyed. It's going to go somewhere. So as long as that hate energy is there, you done dished it out on us all these years. And the fact that it went to Congress, I think Congress has done, because I think Congress has done more to divide us, especially in the years now, like in the 2000s, where you got a lot of the young generation that are trying to really push through all of that bigotry that our generation and the ones before us kind of set up. Like, they're trying. But when you look at Congress, they are the largest drivers of divisiveness because everything is politicized with them. Literally saving our lives with masks was politicized. So you damn sure can believe when it comes to us going out and protesting versus some people actually storming the Capitol in a militaristic way and literally bunkering down in the capital of the country. You can best believe that they gonna politicize that. And that's the biggest issue. Everything is us versus them, blue versus red, liberal versus conservative. Like, at some point, I can disagree with somebody and still not be against them.
That was the point I was gonna also bring up. A lot of times that we can't get nothing done because they make these bullshit bills, and then they'll put things that, let's say people are agreeing to Black people getting reparations, but they'll put that on a bill with other stipulations up there that don't got nothing to do with reparations. So they'll have something up there. They'll know that most of them will not agree with it. So they'll just put it off to another thing.
Exactly.
Instead of having individual bills for the individual problem. But they play it that way because they just going to put it up there so they can calm down Black folk for a moment and say, hey, we're looking into this, y'all. No, don't look into
they're
it.
Trying to throw us a bone to shut us up for a little bit longer.
Don't look into it. Do it. You had
I'm trying so hard not to go into an Umar rant right now in the middle of this, but everything you said just keep reminding me of it's the same type of bull, man. Like, I'm just tired of leaders that are like, it's easier for them to keep power by playing us against each other, and we keep falling for this bullshit.
Yeah, they're not leaders. They're doing it for profit.
Like, going forward, like, one of the biggest things I think need to be changed is the two-party system in this country to, like, there is no party. You as a candidate stand on whatever you as a candidate personally believe with nobody else back you, and we vote according to that. I think political action committees need to be abolished because those are the biggest drivers of hate, because a lot of the people that are in power, hate allows them to make money. Like, you got big corporations that make money off of even these riots. Corporations went up last night because they made money off the other night because they made money off of that shit. They make money off police brutality. They make money off of us arguing back and forth online, and that anxious tension that builds up. They making money off of that. Even the prison industrial complex, they're making money off of these events. So for them, it's in their best interest to keep us at odds. So I think political action committees need to be abolished. The two-party system needs to be abolished. And I think we need to really, if you are under 30, we need more of you in politics. So we need to start eliminating or lowering the age where you can actually be a politician for the U.S. government. Like,
and if you're over 60, retire.
Yes, it now. Should be term limits on it. Like, I don't think anybody, like, if I was in a Congress seat, or if I was the president, or if I was in a position of like political power like that, I don't think I should be there longer than 4 years, because I look at it like some things may get stagnant. In 4 years, something may travel past me. In 4 years, technology didn't pass me by because I wasn't on social media for a long time. So, like, I'm so behind on that. So I can only imagine where a politician is as far as being behind. Plus, when you're a politician, you're in a bubble. Everything is surrounded you. You got Secret Service. You got people kind of keeping you from being really connected as you were when you were still a community organizer or the lawyer or whatever you were before you got into politics. Like, you lose touch with the general public. So your decision making is always off of a little bit as to what the actual pulse of the nation is. So I think we need to get rid of term limits, get your old ass out of there, lower the age of politicians to, I think once you become 22, 23, you should have a chance to give people a chance to vote for you if they feel that you got the best ideas for what we're going to do. I think there should be some type of accountability for, like, if we're getting rid of political action committees, then I think that there should be some type of policy that holds politicians accountable when they don't match with their actions what they promise. If you promise that you're going to be for a certain type of health care or whatever, and you get into Congress and you vote against all of those policies that you said you were down for, there should be a penalty to that. Your term limit should be shortened because your integrity has been breached. And that's the thing. You can be a politician and lie, cheat, steal, and basically have impunity.
And have free health care that we pay.
And a healthy salary to where you are well above the poverty line.
And a raise each year.
It's like set up for the power structure to continuously basically make the people get the short end of the stick. And that kind of, like, I look at them people that stormed the Capitol, like, regardless of how dumb we think their reasoning was because they lost the election, the fact that they showed that they believe in it that much to be willing to lose their lives, to be willing to take that chance, to be willing to, whatever the consequences could have been, it's something we can learn from as a people. Like, if people who are full of hate and sore losers and big babies can have that type of gumption and belief in what they stand on, we got to hold our politicians to that type of gumption. We got to hold ourselves as the people who are going against negativity and hate. We got to hold ourselves to that and be willing to sacrifice for the world we want. Because that's the one thing I can say. Like, these young kids showed me last year when they protested, they willing to die about this. They are tired of our old, divisive, disconnected, stuck in the mud, stuck in our old ways asses. Like, they tired of it. Yeah, man, we gotta get them up out of here, man. The old shit gotta go.
We gotta do better. We gotta do better all around.
Indeed.
Got to do better.
Indeed.
It was some you said earlier, Tiz, that getting rid of the parties and everything, and just have the politicians on their own merit and policies or whatever.
Yep.
Not one of these politicians can do that on their own. That's why they become Republican or Democrat. It's just like a rapper when he signs to a label or whatever. The label, back in the day, the label had everything set up for you for your campaign.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you get rid of the labels, everybody's independent again. If we get rid of, you can't run under a party. You have to run under your name. There is no Republican backing at all. You got to get out there and vote. You got to get out there and actually campaign. You got to actually have your words heard. And today with technology, it's more possible than ever, because it used to be you had to have these political action committees because you had to have billions and millions of dollars to run ads on whatever. Set your ass up a YouTube page or something like we got, get on social media and you campaign. And if what you saying is worth it, people gonna vote for you because they ain't gonna have no other choices but whoever decides to turn their name in, we vote on them. It's kind of like how it used to be, like when they did the California election that time where Schwarzenegger won, but they had like all of them different people. I mean, when Schwarzenegger got out and they had like pretty much everybody was running.
Gary Coleman.
Yeah, just random. Let it be like that. Because at the end of the day, what's happening is you got good people being corrupted because they're finding that the systems of the two parties are too big for them to fight against. So if you eliminate all that and you make everybody independent, now you got you're closer to the musical landscape online now, where if you want to make that analogy of like music to this, the labels have way less power now because there is no real labels anymore, because people can literally go to the internet, upload their stuff, and if people like it, they gonna support that person. Like, you got independent artists that are now making millions without any label backing at all. So at this point, we are technologically and culturally advanced enough as a society where we have enough things in place where you don't need those things. Like, the two-party system used to be good because you could get a lot of support and get the resources that you needed to be able to travel around the country by stagecoach and stay in hotels every day. You don't got to do that no more. You can campaign from home. Like, a lot of this pandemic has shown us it's not mandatory to do some of the things that we used to do. So we could throw some of that shit out that ain't working, that's leading to people getting this frustrated. Because I can guarantee you, if you got the majority vote of the country that can get you the president being 30 million people, as opposed to you need 170 some million or whatever to vote, like, you're gonna have a majority, and then you come up with a system or something to where, like, hey, the next highest voted person, you the vice president now. So now you got two people who may have had completely different opinions, but you got both of those opinions reflected in the government now, as opposed to it would be whatever the party thinks is what, no matter what this person personally believes, that's what he end up going with or she end up going with because the pressure just there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm open to any other suggestions, but at this point, like, that's really what I think we need to start thinking about is like, all right, we are at this point. This is rock bottom. We look like a third world country to everybody else around the world right now. How do we show back up and fix it? Because we can because I think that's another thing. Like, if you look at the news now, they still arguing back and forth over the Republicans and the Democrats.
Because they don't got nothing else. They don't
Them
got nothing
people ain't
else.
coming there caring about who the senator was. They was coming to get the whole Capitol. They ain't give a damn whether you was Democrat, Republican, Independent. They was coming for your ass in the government. So the hell with all the party shit at this point. Like, we got to do better, man.
The media don't care. Like, the media just trying to get the rise of it. But I was going to say, I didn't disagree with you, Tiz. I'm just saying that the politicians that we have now could not run on their own merit because they've been in that system for so long that they rely on it. Like,
hell no.
Maybe the younger ones like
Ted
AOC.
Cruz had to run on just his merits, he would be gone. We know him as fucking rancher Ted Cruz, not Senator Ted nothing.
Maybe like, AOC, because she actually did it. She actually did what you said. Like, mind you, she's under Democrats, but basically, if you really look at her struggle and her story, AOC is the closest thing to what you're saying.
Yes, and that's why I love her. But we need more of those, because I'm not even saying that we need more senators that believe what AOC believes. Mm-hmm. We just need people that are willing to, no matter what your larger agenda is, whether it be I think that we should be capitalists or I think we should be social, whatever. Are you, for one, not hateful in your belief? Like, because I believe a lot of stuff, but I don't hate somebody who believes another way. I just feel like it's like a philosophical difference of opinion. And I also feel there's a lot of ways that we can merge a lot of people's opinions easier if you don't have Republican versus Democrat. Because I've seen over the years since I've been alive in my little short journey through Earth, I've seen some Republican policies that when you really look at what they say, could actually work for everybody. Same with the Democrats. I've seen some Democrat policies that they could work. The problem is Republicans don't want to hear what the Democrats got to say because they're Democrats, and vice versa. So yeah. But yeah, man. We gotta do better, champs. This is ridiculous, man. But yeah, that's really all I got. I feel like we've covered it pretty thoroughly. Any final thoughts, Face, Pat?
Only positive thing I can say about the bullshit from the other day, it's a conversation starter.
Yeah.
On a broader scale, because there's so many different aspects that questions. It's so much different things that comes up from that.
Yeah.
It's going to be talked about for a while. I hope that it's correctly entered into some history book. And I say correctly.
Exactly.
Don't write it down. Don't write down as protesters. Don't put it down as rioters. Say it correctly. Terrorists took over the White House on a day. And
Absolutely.
This is what happened.
Them terrorist thugs.
We had policemen taking photos with them. Just please notate it correctly. That's all I ask.
See, we don't have problems with those rappers. We have problems with those terrorist thugs. We have a problem with that. That's what we have.
And speaking to that, go ahead.
I will say the one positive I feel like got of it is this, and I probably said this before. Until the country is right and they're actually doing their job that they get raises for every single year, that's the only job in America where you could do the job stupidly fucked up and wrong and get a raise in healthcare.
I mean that.
Period.
I mean
that. Until the country is right, not one politician feels safe. And that's not a threat. That's just logic. Not. That's just logic. Like
you should feel guilt and feel worried if you've done some fuck shit. Yeah.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Period.
Just to speak back to Face's point when he was saying like call them what they actually are when you repeat the history. I think that's my biggest takeaway from all this. Like being politically correct and being afraid to say what you actually feel, but just saying it in a respectful way. Like, I don't feel we need politically correctness. We just need respect.
No.
Because I can label someone what it is. Like, look up the word terrorist. That's what we saw. That's not somebody being hateful. But the PC police want to jump on it. You can't call so-and-so. Like, we have to be able to speak truth to the power. We got to be able to call Trump a traitor to this country. Like the same way we look at Benedict Arnold and Jefferson Davis, and then when they seceded from, like, we got to look at these people and stop calling shit fake shit. We can't call slavery indentured servitude. That won't what it was.
I was thinking that.
We can't call protesters rioters. We can't call rioters and looters protesters. We can't call Fox them News. People that storm a government building anything but domestic terrorists. And that's what we got to be comfortable doing on both sides. Like, we got to get comfortable being uncomfortable with the truth. And I think that's the thing or at least for me, like, that's my biggest takeaway. Like, all this politicized stuff, what is the truth and how do we get to that? Because that is where, to me, we can actually come together and reconcile. You know,
past that cognitive dissonance that people have when the truth is in their face.
And you know it's the truth, but it don't make you feel good. So let me go for the warm milk word that makes me feel nice and cozy. But no, we got to get out of that shit. Straight like
your
that.
Milk. Lactose intolerant.
So African genes, man. We won't milk to drink no cow's milk, man. That's all that is.
Goddamn colonists.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all. Oh, go ahead.
Who told you that?
What?
Who told you that first? Where'd you hear that cow milk shit first?
Who, me? I couldn't even tell you.
Anybody that we know. Me.
Okay. Okay. I'm like, what?
Me,
bitch.
It's me.
Well, you probably right.
Never drink cow's milk. That ain't the human. That's the baby cow.
I do remember you saying that, Face.
That's a good point. But it's medically true.
You feel me?
That's why Puffy got his milk from Cambodia. Making it a band.
If it won't Cambodian breast milk, you still ain't supposed to be drinking it. You ain't supposed to be drinking somebody else's breast milk. You're supposed to drink your mama breast milk, or that's it. Okay, and once you pass Wayne, it's like, oh, I ain't gonna even go off into that. That's a whole other rabbit hole we could jump down with that one. Because
the next live.
Yeah, we might have to talk about some milk in the next podcast or something, man. That we got some jumping off points for that one. But thank you guys for joining us. If you catch the stream late or you come on and you see it as a recorded video, jump down in the comments. Let us know what you think. Give us your opinions. We will be, interacting with them and just continuing this dialogue, because I think that's the biggest thing, like Faye said, from this is it's a conversation starter. And it's starting a conversation in our country that has needed to be had for hundreds of years. So I'm glad to see us finally getting to the place where I'm seeing, at least from my small little bubble world of the people that I see, seems like people are getting more open to having a conversation. I think that's the biggest thing, is that we continue it until we get to a resolution. But as always, this is the Podnas. I've been 1/3 of the Podnas tiers, along with
it's your boy, the Padawan. Fuck Mitch McConnell.
Oh, and Uma. Haven't forgot about you, sir. Because this protest and stuff has definitely made me make a lot of correlations with you and your rise and what I've seen in Trump. And I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm dead serious. I'm on your head, sir. I will not let a black Trump rise up and be a detriment to my people even more than the Caucasian one has already been. So I'm gonna let you know now. You can either come with some answers so we can get to a resolution where I understand at least what your plan is. You can get to your authentic truth, like we've been talking about tonight, and actually say that you are what it seems that you are, which is a content creator. Or I'm just gonna stay on your neck until I make sure as many people wake up and stop wasting their money on another Trump. But love y'all, man. Let's continue the conversation. Go ahead.
We still got to tell Face. Face got to do his extra. You cut him off before you say it.
Face in the place.
His face in the place.
I'm sorry. Y'all know I talk a lot if you listen to the podcast. I'm sorry.
when Ted's going to his rants, he go ahead. I just let him go ahead, man. I know what it is.
And I just like to say fuck Mitch McConnell one more time.
Yeah, fuck him.
Get your partners gear.
Bet. Rep it, Pod Squad. Check us out Saturday. We got another our new weekly live show. You didn't ask us, but where we give our takes and opinions on a bunch of stuff that was asked to other people, but we're gonna tell you how we feel about it. And as always, every Wednesday night, episode of the Podnas is dropping on all streaming sites. As always, look out for more video clips this week from our last podcast and some of our older ones, just so you can kind of see what you've heard all this time.
Like, subscribe, and share.
Yes. Please like, please comment, please share. Definitely like on any streaming site or YouTube. They all help us to just get into the algorithm more and to allow other people who might have like minds or just that we might resonate with find us. So continue to like. That's the easiest thing you can do to support. If you
welcome all the new subscriber, all new 30 of y'all jumped the number up. We even I would say yes, we're actually at our year goal way like in the first week of the year. So
yeah, we are
halfway there. So thank you.
Definitely blessed for y'all. Thank you. As always, if you want to support any other way, find us on all social media sites, follow us. Definitely show your support by just repping our brand out. That's one of the best ways you can market with us and just show that you're part of our family. Go to teespring.com/Podnas, /stores /Podnas-closet-1, or go to
teespring.com/stores/space-co-2. There we go now.
Yes.
Don't forget, first one was teespring.com/stores/Podnas-closet-1. Second store, teespring.com/stores/space. That space spelled with a PH now. My name is spelled with a PH. PHACE-co. That's co spelled CO-2.
Big facts. If you need to find us, as always, if it's too much for you to follow, just go to thepodnas.com. You can literally follow everything that we're doing. Every time we're doing something new, you can get in touch with our merch. You can access the stores. You can do it all from there. So just staying locked in with us, man, and we're going to keep on providing our content with our fresh and real takes on whatever is going on in the world. We're not experts on anything, but we got opinions on everything. And as always, we the Podnas. Salute. Thank y'all for joining us this evening.
Peace out, man. We love y'all.
I'm gonna roll up now. Yay.